I got a question about supplements. Add this to the my weekend review of training. This is basically 100% of what I take. I drink a shit ton of water. I do these, and I take a multivitamin. And that multivitamin pack, Myovite is the name of it. I also take another from Dynamic Nutrition called Max Adrenal. Seems to really help with my recovery from travel and competing and shit sleep patterns and things like that. So, give you a rundown. This is what I take. This is all USP Labs. They are a sponsor of mine. They pay me. So there's your disclosure. But I've been taking this stuff before I got sponsored by them and long before I got paid by them. So it all started for me taking Jacked, the original stuff, which was awesome, and was basically cocaine, or at least felt like it. The new stuff, pretty good. Honestly, don't take Jack that often anymore. I don't like being too gassed for training. I don't need it. I like being more mellow and flat and kind of training through. However, on days that I'm really drained and don't have the energy, that's a go-to, and it seems to never really fail me that, a scoop of that. I've never really done more than that. I'm not that dude. Just allows me to get in and train, work really hard, and I seem to be focused on the task at hand. Whereas outside of that, if I'm really tired and spent a long day on the road, I don't really want to do anything. So that's a huge benefit, that I can at least get my training in successfully. And typically have good workouts on days that I just didn't feel like doing anything. New to their lineup, I've been taking for about 2 months now, is modern creatine. Creatine is another one of those supplements that works. There's a lot of snake oil out there. And for younger lifters, younger athletes, don't waste your money on anything that seems crazy. Nothing's gonna get you jacked and shredded. It's literally this big a portion of the whole picture. I mean, unless your diet, training, exercise, everything's on point and perfect, and you're looking for that last 1%, maybe that's what those crazy supplements do, but chances are they don't even do that. So stick to stuff that works. Creatine works. Caffeine works. Protein is another. USP Labs makes one. The other one I take pretty regular would be a Slingshot. It's really great stuff, and since the way my diet falls, I'm pretty low carb, and this allows me to do that. It's only 1 or 2 grams of carbs per 23 grams of protein. It also tastes really good, so that's a plus whenever you're going to end up drinking quite a bit of it. Honestly, I try to get the majority of my protein from food if I can. This is really a last. I'm out of options. I've been on the road. I keep one in my truck that I can fill up with water from a gas station and get the necessary protein I'm supposed to get for the day. Super Sissus is their joint formula. This one really does kick ass. This on top of me taking fish oil and things like that, I get a lot of benefit. My joints feel a lot better. It's just a matter of remembering to take it. And it recommends 2 capsules, so twice a day. I usually up that to 3 or 4, but that's my personal take on it. Pretty heavy, and that's what seems to help. BCAAs. This is something I take every single day. It's stupid hot down here in the south. It's, I don't know, it's like 11 a.m. right now, and it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, or just short of 1,000,000 degrees, I think, Celsius. And so I'm dying. I'm literally drenched with sweat. I've been in my garage for less than 30 minutes. I did a really quick cardio workout, some spin bike and some snatches, and I'm completely drenched to the hilt in what could be the thinnest t-shirt of all time. You should check it out at thehate.com. Shameless plug. So BCAAs are great. Really aid in my recovery, especially competing. I'll sip on this all day out on the field, as well as after the game. I'll usually pound a gallon of water with 3 or 4 scoops of this and some Gatorade, and seem to be able to compete better on day 2 on a 2-day game. I also have BCAAs in the tablet form. These are great on the road when I don't feel like mixing that with water and having a sweet drink. I like the taste of water, so I don't always want Kool-Aid. And it's You know, when I say it's sweet, I mean it's sweet, but it's not carb heavy. So not gonna screw you up there. Last but not least, another one of their newer things, Amino Lift. This has actually replaced Jack in my lineup, and it's basically these two together in my opinion. And I take that, a scoop of it in a 32-ounce bottle, pre-training about 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes before. And then if I'm really gassed, I'll sip on one scoop while I'm currently lifting. So that is the rundown of my supplements. What else am I taking? Every night I take Metamucil, because having good poops leads to a good life. Also, when you're eating mountains of meat, some help getting the good poops out is excellent. I don't know if MCT oil would be a supplement, but I take that. Just a healthy fat. Your body can't turn into fat, works as an energy source, and since I'm on a low carb type diet for me, that seems to work pretty good and has helped me maintain some weight loss as well as stay strong and have the energy while not having carbs in my diet. So that's the rundown on my supplements. Hope that answers your question. And there's one of the questions from the Instagram today. 1 second. And the guy that asked it was at something totally cool, but he used a 0 for the O, so he's super clever. And he's got a cat in his picture, so congrats to you for making the video. Check him out, probably doing stuff. See what other questions we got, I'll just answer here. What are the top 3 life lessons you've learned that shaped your philosophy and attitude? At CT Donovan. For me, the big thing I keep coming back to that I always think about and I try to explain to people, philosophy is definitely the hate. I've explained that in pretty depth, but it's basically just not listening to or tolerating my own bullshit. A lot of time you're the one that will end up getting in your own way at the end of the day. You're the one who makes bad diet decisions. No one else does. You didn't have to go eat that bullshit. We all make excuses, and the thing is not listening to any of that. It's having the commitment and having the focus and saying, these are my goals. You can either help me accomplish them or fuck you. And that's telling yourself that as well. Being committed to something. It's going to make you better at everything you do. I don't care if that's your workforce and saying that here's what I'm going to do and I'm going to set out and do it, and I'm not going to have a tolerance, couldn't do it because of this and that. Fuck that. Every day is another day. Accomplish those goals. Get out. Kill yourself to do it. Outside of that, the other philosophy I think about would be the one I think about that deals with competition anxiety, things like that, and competing and trying to maintain at a high level. That one really is just kind of the idea that it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, get your job done. This is what you train for. It's really a gift that I get to travel and compete. It's a gift that any of you get to travel and compete. We live in a great country. We were born in a great time. And don't let any of that shit go crazy in your head. It's just lifting weights. It's just throwing some stuff. So go out and do your job. Take it seriously, but have fun. Remember why you're doing it. When the record books are all said and done and they're all written and they look back at a pile of dust that used to be Earth, how far I threw a stone isn't going to make any of those charts. So take a little bit of that stress off yourself and compete. Bring that to the table that your other competitors don't have. Be able to do your job because you trained for it. It's irrelevant what someone else you're competing against does. You can only do your best. Do that and strive for that every time you take the field. Those are really the 2 biggest. Probably the 3rd biggest training thing I've learned is submaximal weights. And a lot of that stemmed from time I spent with Wendler. And the submaximal weights philosophy is I don't unnecessarily get hurt in training. Submaximal weights also works really great because I train in here and I train by myself. So I'm not gonna get pinned by any stupid weights. My ego is not in the way of my training. My ego is not in the way of my progress. I don't care what weight's on the bar. It's the accumulation of work that makes you stronger. It's years and years and years of grinding. You're not gonna take a shortcut. So that's what I do. That's why I stick to 5s and 3s or doubles. And I don't ever get stuck under heavy weight. I don't care about the PR anymore. You know, that's one thing that's been nice about dropping 30 pounds. I was really, really strong when I was about 310. And I probably won't be that strong again. So, you know, real PR, I have to add, you know, I did it at this body weight or this time of year or that. And it's not a real PR. It's not my personal best I've ever done. So that makes it a little easier for me, but strength isn't my ultimate goal. So take that as it is. You know, I do care about throwing further, but that's also maximal and throwing's great. So there's your question at CT Donovan. Check that out. Yeah, I do buy the implements for training at Cav20. Check out Mike Landridge, Landridge Power Systems on Facebook. They're the best to get. Also affordable. Matt Bunton. Matt_Bunton. Which aspects of training do you think people most overthink? Their accessories, their, you know, that's, you know, the big quote of, you know, don't major in a minor. People overthink the little stuff and try to figure out, well, these exercises are the best for improving my squat, when, man, just go fucking squat. Do some more reps, get under some weight, move the bar. I tell you what, you want to improve your squat, go squat 100 reps a day at a moderate weight after you finish your squat routine. I guarantee it'll work. So that's what I think people most overthink. It's majoring in a minor. I mean, there's a ton of other stuff with diet and this and that and what people piss and moan about, but that's the big one. I mean, if everyone could just focus on their big lifts if they want to get strong, and if you're doing bodybuilding, do that. I don't know anything about it. Dan O'Rourke 7. Do I see myself ever doing another powerlifting meet? Probably. I'll just leave it at that. Ayo Chab. What was your high school throwing numbers and favorite event? I have thrown my personal best furthest throw ever twice in high school. My very last competition, state track meet, I threw 59.11 3/4 on my last throw for a PR to win it. The furthest I threw in college in the shot was 57.10. I've since thrown 59.1 or 59.11, and in a track meet. Never thrown 60 in my life. Maybe one day that'll happen. I doubt it though. I have to find another track meet, and I keep getting older. It sucks. Discus, I threw like 130 in high school. I was fucking terrible at it. I threw about 178 in college, so I really wasn't much better in the grand scheme of things. And I threw just under 60 meters in the hammer, so not great at any of them. But that is what I did. See if we have any other new questions that have popped up. Nope. So I'll address the rest of you on the Instagrams. Check it out. Cheers.